Hello and welcome to a new video. This one is going to be another video series, which is I'm going to be vegetarian for a month in Kazakhstan. To explain the origins of all of this, I have been vegetarian at home cooking for more than a year, and I would call myself 80% vegetarian. Because whenever I go out, sometimes there's no food options to choose from that don't have meat, and so I'll have to order something that has meat in it. Or if I'm invited to somebody's house, I'll eat whatever they give me. Let me first explain what I mean by vegetarian, because this idea is different depending on the people that you ask. So my idea of vegetarian is a person who does not eat meat or animals. This includes red meat, chicken, fish, type of insects, nothing that kind of is an animal. So this video idea came up, and I figured I would give myself 4 weeks and 4 different challenges. Let me explain the 4 different challenges at the beginning here very quickly. First week, only buy things that you can find from any store. So these are just simple items. The second week is buying fancy items that are difficult to find here in Kazakhstan that you have to go to specialty stores to get. The third week is Central Asian food. And the fourth week is not exactly vegetarian, it's a step beyond that. The fourth week will be vegan only. So speaking to the few vegetarians that I know in Kazakhstan, it's a bit difficult to find all the items that you want to cook vegetarian meals, diverse vegetarian meals. And so they go to specialty stores. But I wanted to prove with this week that you can make it with just going to any regular store. So I just went to my regular grocery store. It's called Small, but you can also go to basically any store for the items that I'm choosing. Now I do want to say right now that I'm not trying to force anyone or convince you to become vegetarian. I just want you to see what it's like. Enjoy this for entertainment purposes. I'm not a dietitian. So what I'm going to do is show you what I cook for the week, and additionally what I eat at different restaurants. And additionally, I'm going to interview different vegetarians and put them in these videos. So we have our first guest this week.
My name is Shiv. I'm into teaching. I teach the international curriculum, and I've been teaching for like 20 years now. I'm basically a math guy, but I also happen to teach economics and business studies and something called theory of knowledge in the IB curriculum. It's a specialty area. And I have been abroad for about 10 years now. I think this is my 6th year over here in Kazakhstan and 4 years in Jakarta in Indonesia.
I'll be interspersing his interview answers in this video as well, so you can get somebody else's perspective rather than just my own. So let's jump right into it. So here I'm just showing the groceries that I bought for this week, but I do want to talk first about the idea of being vegetarian in Kazakhstan. It's a bit foreign because historically, Kazakh diet has depended a lot on meat, and the idea of not having a meat in a meal is basically not having a meal. So this is why I'm making this video. It's a bit more interesting than being a vegetarian, in another country where being a vegetarian is normalized. I also do want to mention I don't have a meal for Monday's lunch, and I apologize for that. I did eat vegetarian though, I promise. And one last thing I want to mention is I actually have been meal prepping or bulk cooking for years now, which means I like to cook everything at once for the whole week. And for this first week, I did that, which resulted in me eating the same thing for almost the whole week for dinner, so I apologize in advance. I'm going to be making a little less than what a normal person might cook if they cooked every day, because I don't cook every day. So here we have the stuffed bell peppers before they've been cooked, and I also have some left over. I ate some of this already, so yeah. I'm just gonna eat this for dinner actually. I already ate some, so there was much more, but I was really hungry waiting. And I'm gonna put these in the oven to get them cooking, and so later on I can just heat them up.
20 minutes later.
So they look almost the same. This one got a little burnt because he was close to the side, but I want them to be definitely softer, right? We don't want a hard bell pepper for these. They want to be softer.
Well, I get a mix of reactions. One of the reactions is utter disbelief. It's like I remember some of my colleagues in the Nazarbayev school, they said like, you don't eat meat? And then they said, I cannot imagine life without meat, those sort of responses. But then surprisingly later on, like 2-3 years down, when I met some other Kazakhs, I saw some of them were like vegetarian, and that was like an eye-opener. I never knew, because given my initial interaction when I just arrived in Astana, I always used to think all of them are like this, like, all Kazakhs are like really hard meat eaters. Yeah. But I did discover many people, Kazakhs especially, the native Kazakhs who are vegetarian now, like they have changed.
Good morning, this is my first meal. It's supposed to be overnight oats. You just put oatmeal, milk, sugar. I put raisins in and some cinnamon, and I put it in an old peanut butter jar. I know people in Kazakhstan don't like peanut butter, but I do. So I'm gonna eat that even though it's runny as hell. Alright, I'm just filming this with my phone because I literally have 10 minutes to eat lunch, so I don't have time to pull up my camera, but it's lunchtime and I'll show you what I'm gonna be eating, what I've made. So I like to call these lentil burgers, but really they're just lentil patties. I put them, instead of bread, I put them on lettuce, and I'm gonna have some carrots. I also have some other carrots, that's not the only amount of carrots I'm eating some more carrots. On the top is mayonnaise with a little bit of garlic and onion powder. And yeah, it's really easy to make. I pre-made a bunch more, and instead of cooking them all at once because I like them to be crispy, I like fry these lightly, in a skillet. I make them every day that I'm gonna eat them, so I have this huge amount that I'll eat for more times, and I've just wrapped it up in plastic wrap because I'm trying to kill the environment.
1 hour later.
My meeting's over, so I'm also gonna have this little orange. I can eat again! So if I look like a mess, it's because I am a mess. I just walked through a freaking snowstorm because a ballerina invited me to go see the ballet, and then afterwards she invited me to dinner. So I had a salad of arugula and tomatoes with Parmesan, I think it was on it. And then I had penne arrabbiata. So arrabbiata is supposed to be like a spicy chili marinara based sauce. It wasn't spicy. It's never spicy here.
I would answer this in like 2 parts. One is eating out. So if I go to restaurants here, that's a big challenge, because now things are a little better, but I remember like 6 years back it was really bad. All I could eat was some salad or something. Salad, or maybe you can have some fries, which I don't eat much of, like I avoid it. But when you go to a restaurant, they will say, oh, when we can give you a salad, and especially you're with friends and you can see everyone enjoying and you're just sitting with a small salad. So restaurants, yes, but now I would say things have changed over the years. Now I find there are some pure vegetarian restaurants also in Astana. Almaty was much better. They had much better choices because they're Indian restaurants. There are more Indian restaurants. But it was a challenge, yes, eating outside. But if you ask me, cooking, I cook a lot. I enjoy cooking. I could source most of the lentils. Rice wasn't a problem. It's available in these good stores like Gastronome or these, I forget the name, these other big stores. But even in the small grocery stores, rice, and I discovered some new food also like buckwheat, which I like a lot, and it's a healthy food. My challenge was vegetables. Okay, vegetables is very, the range of vegetables is very limited here, and it becomes worse in winters, I've seen.
So it's Wednesday morning, and when I woke up I was like, oh, I'm not hungry, it's fine. And now I'm hungry and I don't have enough time to cook anything. So I have in a different container a bunch of sunflower seeds. So I'm gonna snack on these until I have to start working. Wednesday, we have the same meal for lunch, carrots and lentil patties. It's about 2:30 and I'm hungry, I need a snack. And so I have my trusty sunflowers again, or sunflower seeds. Sorry, if you hear something back, I'm watching Twitch and I didn't want to pause it for this. You can't really pause it. Anyways, so sunflower seeds again as my little snacky poo. Here is Wednesday's dinner. These are the stuffed bell peppers, and then I just added some more cheese on top, but it doesn't look melty yet because I just took it out of the microwave. I just heated it up in the microwave. I have 1.5 bell peppers because I'm hungry. Salad. We have some salad, which is just tomatoes, cucumber, some onions, olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of chili powder. Like literal red pepper. You don't have to add the chili powder, I just like it because it gives it a little spice. Here's my little dessert, which is a brownie in a mug. It's super easy to make, and I top it with ice cream. This is a common dessert that I have that I love to make. Woohoo!
For the basic ones, like we discussed, like for potatoes and all that, I just go to my local store, which is in my building. There are quite a few here. Like I don't stay on campus. I'm like near Baithrik. So I have like 3-4 shops here. I can easily go and get the basic groceries. But then let's say sometimes I prefer cooking with a white onion, not the ones they keep. So for that, I go to Gastronome. If I want to have cauliflowers are not readily. Sometimes available here, sometimes not. So when that happens, then I go to Gastronome always.
Good morning, it's Thursday, and here is my breakfast. Grits. I don't know how to explain it. I do know how to explain it. It's cornmeal cooked. I used to eat this all the time in Texas when I was younger. Like, I would cook my own breakfast on the weekends, and it would be grits because I used to love them.
I'm a C tier. I'm a social life.
Well, called progressives.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here we've got the beautiful cream of wheat. I think it's called cream of wheat. It's called mannaya, I think, in Russian. And I looked it up and that's what it says. But I put in some strawberry jam with it because otherwise it's like very no flavor. I have just this for lunch, which is only 2 of those lentil patties. Plus, I've been eating some of the carrots already, but I figured it wasn't gonna be enough. So there's this place next door, a restaurant next door, and they have some vegetarian options. So I ordered a veggie burrito. You have to spend over 1,000 tenge, so I ended up getting mashed potatoes as well. I'm trying to order things that you could make on your own. So nothing complicated, everything you could find at a store. And everything that's gonna be in this burrito, and obviously potatoes, you can find those at any store.
A few moments later.
It just arrived. So let me show you. I've never gotten mashed potatoes from this place before, but it's so nice. So little. Inside is rice, beans, onions, garlic, cheese, and what looks to be very finely minced bell pepper. And they have some like spicy sauce or a salsa. So this you could make at home. You can buy these flatbreads, very common in Kazakhstan to buy. And then you make the rice and beans, fill it inside. It's much like my stuffed bell peppers, except no bell pepper stuffed, it's wrapped in this. The reason I didn't make it myself is because when I buy beans here, they're dry and it takes quite a long time to cook those if they're dry, or you have to soak them overnight or for several hours. And I didn't do that. Once again, stuffed bell pepper, but I'm pretty full from lunch still, but I know I should eat something. Just a little bit of something, or else I'm gonna be really hungry tomorrow morning. I'm just eating 1 bell pepper and no salad today. I always crave something sweet after I eat, always. So usually I get fruit, and I was like, I'm not hungry, I'm only gonna have a piece of stuffed bell pepper. And I was like, but I need them sweet things. So I have an orange, a baby orange, little orange, that I'm gonna eat. On Saturday for lunch, I went to a place called Salad Bar where you can make your own salad. I got the vegan bowl, which is actually vegan. And to be honest, it actually doesn't have all items that you can source from a regular store. It does have a specialty item, tofu. So I didn't follow this week's plan of having simple foods, but it was delicious and I don't regret it. Please forgive me. Oh boy, do I have a surprise for you for Saturday's dinner. Just take a look. It looks completely different from the other days, doesn't it? 1 bell pepper and 1 cucumber and 1 tomato this time. Well, as you can see, I'm eating the same thing because I have 2 more bell peppers to eat. Now, is it a little boring? Yeah, but I'm also fine with it.
Okay, one, if you ask me when I was small, or I've always thought about it, I am not against eating meat, but I mean, this is just my, if I can use the word philosophy or my thinking. I feel someone who's, let's say someone who lives in a very cold country where you don't have access to vegetables or stuff, it's okay for him to eat meat because he needs those vitamins and proteins. But for me, if it's available to me, if I have vegetables, I would avoid killing something. Of course, you can say, well, plants have also, I mean, we are killing plants as well. But for me, it is minimizing the pain. If you ask me, like when I'll use the path of minimum pain. So it's from that principle, like, you know, I don't want to kill something and eat it, that sort of thing. That's one. Second is I have tried, as I told you earlier, and somehow my body, it didn't accept it. I'm not too sure about it, haven't done much research, but I think, I don't know what are the long-term health benefits of being a meat eater. I'm not sure about that. Yeah. And also there's this thing that producing a lot of meat, it leaves, it's not good for the ecology, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've been reading some of these random things that one should switch to, but those are not the primary reasons why I don't. The primary reason is I don't want to like kill animals and eat. It's like that. Yeah.
Sunday morning, another cream of wheat with, can I even show you? Yeah, with strawberry jam. Alrighty, here we have some pelmeni. I got it from a restaurant called Lepim I Varim. I was grocery shopping all over the place for next week, and I don't really have anything at home that's ready to eat, so I picked this up. You can get pelmeni or dumplings at any store. I usually have mashed potato pelmeni in my freezer, but I don't have any this week. But usually I would just buy the frozen pelmeni at the store and boil it. I'm also gonna have this little orange. It's like sad. It's sad, but I'm gonna eat it anyways. Here we go. Sunday's dinner. What's that? Salad of cucumbers, tomatoes, and onions. Again, we love a regular queen. Commitment. I am commitment. What's that? What's the main course? Another stuffed bell pepper. My last stuffed bell pepper. Hello. How have you been? I mean, I just saw you yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. I'm a little worried, honestly, today that I didn't get enough protein. I know I didn't get enough protein. I usually try to have some significant protein source in every meal because that's one of the worries for vegetarians and vegans is that there's not enough protein in your diet. But yeah, Sunday's dinner. Woo! So I finished my food. I have my final little baby orange left, and it doesn't feel rotten on the inside. That's a good sign. And then I also have these 4 Brigadeiro left. I haven't eaten them all. I already ate 2 earlier today, and then I gave 3 to my coworker because he's letting me borrow some of his books. Thank you very much, Philip. I know you don't watch my YouTube videos, but thank you. So I gave him some of my Brigadeiro. So I'm gonna eat all 4 of these because I have no control. And so we've made it through the first week. Now, to be honest, this week was a little challenging for me, mostly because my snacking items are a bit different, or my breakfasts are usually very different. But I wanted to make simple breakfasts, so this is what I went for. So the meals themselves are not very different than what I would normally make. In fact, I make all those meals normally, but just adding a bit more diversity is something that I wish I could have done for this week. And this is all in hindsight, of course. Hindsight is 2020, and I would have changed some things. So next week, I'll be trying the specialty item, fancy vegetarian diet, things that are a bit more challenging to find in Kazakhstan, but you can. So make sure to check out next week's video to continue this saga onwards and join me on this challenge. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.